next thing we're doing here is we're gonna work with brushes and with symbols. So you're familiar with brush tools in Photoshop, but in Illustrator, brush tools can also help you stylize the appearance of paths. So you can apply brush strokes to existing paths, or you can use the paintbrush tool to draw a path and apply a brush stroke simultaneously. So that means you can draw with any of these, like the pen tool, the pencil, or whatever, and then you can apply a brush stroke to that. Or if you're using the brush tool, you can change the brush stroke, obviously. All right, so let's get started with brushes. So first we're just gonna draw a line, which I don't see the line segment tool here, so it's probably is it underneath rectangle? There it is. It's in your shape tool, so under line, or under the rectangle, the line segment tool is there. All right, and so the line tool, you're going to press the shift key to create a straight line, and you can see how it is all these little magenta lines that are showing up for me. These are to help you in aligning your artwork. Okay, so right now it's telling me if I start my line here, it's going to be lined up well with the T. Okay, so I'm going to start on there. I'm going to click and I'm going to hit shift and I'm just going to drag this way. Okay, so now I just have this line. I'm going to, if you don't already have your brush palette open, you can go up to Window and then Brushes at the very top and open that brush palette. And this is similar to brush palette in Photoshop, where you have preset options in here. You can create new options, you can import, export, all of that in here. And that's through the flyout menu. So you can create a new brush. You can open brush libraries. So they've got some pre-existing ones. So maybe I want calligraphy, or let's see, to match the one that we've got going now, we've got brush library. Oops. Maybe decorative. Or, oops, sorry, borders and novelty. That's the one they used in their little image there. Okay, so that's kind of fun. There's ants and airplanes and all kinds of weird stuff. So with that line still selected, this is the one that we're using in this particular piece. So you can just click on that. And so now we have our little border here. And you can change, it's a little bit weird thinking about this, because what you're going to do to change the size of this, because it's a line, so it basically only has a stroke on it. And so you're going to actually change the stroke weight in order to change the, oh, where did my properties panel go? In order to change the size of this. So let me find my properties panel again. And I'm going to change this stroke weight. If you click on this down here, you can change it to like 0.5. And so then you see the proportions are smaller, and so you get more of those laurel leaves. And so the other thing to note is if you start your line, let's try the line up here. There's too many things on here. If I start the line here and do shift and drag and go this way, so now it's set on the laurel, right? Or not. And then I'm going to click on the laurel and put it in there. And you see it's going the opposite direction. So it's kind of, you can always switch this, but you can see depending on where you start and end your line determines where the beginning and end of your stroke or whatever it is that you put on there. So I'm actually going to switch these around. So I'm going to put this one here on this side, and I'm going to put this one on the other side like that. And I don't know if they're the same size or not, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. If you wanted to be exact replicas, which generally you do for this kind of thing, you're going to do a reflect and what do you call it? A reflect and copy. Okay. So where you do that is if you go up to object, and you do transform. So that is, I think I just passed it up. Oh, it's at the very top. That's why. So you probably can't even see this on the recording. So object and then transforms at the very top, and you're gonna click on reflect. And so it'll bring you this little doohickey here. And we want to do vertical, right? Horizontal would flip it the other way. This is also a very handy thing. You could do it by angle, like if you want your copy to be, or just your original to be a different kind of way, different angle. But we're going to do vertical, and then make sure you do copy here instead of just OK. So copy will reflect and make a copy. So now I have two, and I have one that I can just bring right over here. Okay, and I can hit shift while I'm dragging, and then they will stay even with each other. I can always align them later, but that's kind of a way of saving yourself a step. Okay. I think we're going to call that good. So that's what we're going to talk about with brushes, brush basics.